Hey everyone, if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are new here, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to check out my last video where I briefly introduced myself and talked about borderline personality disorder. Today I'm going to be talking about dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT, and I'll try to get through it quickly so I have time to share one of my favorite skills with you guys today. DBT is a cognitive behavioral therapy that incorporates a philosophical process called dialectics, which is the notion that two opposing ideas can be true at the same time. An example would be, I'm doing the best I can and I want to do better. On the surface, they seem like they're opposites, but they can be true at the same time. DBT teaches us skills to improve our mindfulness, which allows us to live in and enjoy the moment instead of worrying about the future or ruminating on the past. Distress tolerance and emotion regulation, which is our ability to control our emotions, especially in stress-inducing situations. And interpersonal effectiveness, which allows us to have healthier and, more importantly, happier relationships. If you want to read more about DBT, I will include some links below to sites I've checked out, as well as a link to a book by Marsha and Linehan, who actually developed DBT in the late 1980s. Her book is the foundation of DBT therapy, and I highly recommend you get it if you can, especially if you're not in a position to get therapy. I know a lot of people can't afford it, or maybe you're just not ready to talk about your stuff with a therapist, and this book is by no means a replacement for therapy, but it will definitely help you. This is a good time to include my disclaimer that I am not a therapist. I cannot diagnose or treat you, and my videos are not meant to replace therapy. I'm simply someone that has struggled with BPD for over 10 years, and I want to share my experience and the things that I'm learning in the hopes that it benefits someone, and maybe create a community here where people don't have to feel so alone in their mental health struggles. If you're here from TikTok or you've seen my last video, you'll know I recently celebrated being 1 year self-harm free. I've had a lot of people ask me, how did you do it? What's your secret? And it isn't just one thing. I've used a combination of many skills to help me cope in situations where I've had self-harm urges. And it has not been easy. Today I'm going to share just one of the skills that has helped me tremendously on my journey. It is a distress tolerance skill called TIPP. T is tip the temperature. The best way to do this is to submerge your face in a bowl of ice water, or put an ice pack on your eyes and cheeks and hold your breath for 30 seconds. This will activate the mammalian dive reflex, which causes our heart rate to slow down immediately, and our parasympathetic nervous system prompts relaxation. I is intense exercise. When we have extreme emotion, our bodies often want to react. When you're really excited, you might want to jump up and down. When we experience negative emotion, there's a buildup of energy that can lead to self-destructive urges. Intense exercise is used to release that built-up energy, and our parasympathetic nervous system will bring our heart rate down and make it easier to breathe. You don't have to go to the gym and lift weights for an hour. You can run around the block, jump up and down a few times, walk up and down your stairs, whatever works for you. The first P in TIPP is paced breathing, which is especially good to combat hyperventilation. When you hyperventilate, you exhale more than you're inhaling, which causes the carbon dioxide levels in your blood to drop, and the vessels that supply blood to your brain narrow. Choose a time to breathe in and out, like in for 4, hold for 4, out for 8. And when you exhale, you want to purse your lips like you're blowing out candles or blowing hot soup. You may need to do this for several minutes for it to be effective. The last P is paired muscle relaxation, which is meant to be used with paced breathing. You may notice in stressful situations that your body will tense up. And when the tension is out of your control, it's hard to just relax. So what you're going to do is regain control of that tension, if that makes sense. With each inhale, you're going to tense a different part of your body. My therapist always suggested I start with my feet and work my way up. You can do it however you want. When you exhale, you're going to relax that muscle. And you should find that it's easier to relax now. It may help if you also think the word relax or actually visualize the tension leaving your body. This skill is great to use in a crisis situation, but it's also a good idea to practice when you're not in a crisis situation. Think of an Olympic swimmer. They don't just swim during a competition, right? They train for it. If you practice any DBT skill when you don't need it, it's going to be easier to use when you do. And eventually, these skills will become second nature. It's not going to be easy. You're retraining your brain to react differently than it has reacted for years. And I'll be honest, these skills are not second nature for me yet. I have to put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into my reactions and into coping. But it's a learning process. I'm doing my best and I want to do better. Comment below if you have any questions or if there's anything specific you want to learn about. Like last time, I will link my social media below. Please feel free to send me a message. I will be back next week with a new skill for us. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Bye. I'm going to start that over because I forgot a whole bunch of stuff. Oh. Oh, shit. As well as a link. Fuck. To react differently like last time, I will